Warning! What you are about to hear contains explicit language, adult themes, and potentially disturbing content. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and do not reflect the opinions of anyone else, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. This podcast is intended for an immature audience and should not be listened to by anyone, anywhere, ever, in the history of the world. You know, fuck it. You've been warned.
Ladies and gentlemen, dorks and dweebs, nerds of all ages, GeekPod Network Productions is proud to bring to you the most electrifying middle-aged guys in Syracuse, the Doctor, Hugh, the Pod Whore, Paul Showens. Alone, they are single geek beacons in a dark cop drama world. But when the mics go hot, they are GeekPod. God bless me!
Trying to fix it so I look good. That doesn't help, but
hello and welcome to this week's edition of Geek Pod. I'm your host, Paul.
I'm Hugh.
And I'm Corbs.
And I have something to say, Paul.
You know, it worries me when you do this because last time shit got real.
I saw the taglines that you used for the last episode, and we're not even going to talk about the name of the episode, okay? All right. I mean, how inappropriate that was. I texted you about that personally, and I know you don't feel bad, but I didn't like you saying Hugh is a stock genius.
Oh, okay? That's what you're going with?
Because I had started reading about this stuff the week before we did the show. Calling me a stock genius is like saying you're a humility genius because Kristen called you a douchebag and you watched 2 videos on YouTube about how not to be a narcissistic asshole. You know, it just doesn't track. Well, obviously it wouldn't, but still, I was like, wait a second. I mean, you can call me Dr. Hugh, you call me all sorts of things, but it's like I read up and learned about something for the show and you called me a genius, and now I'm worried people went out and spent their life savings.
I did.
Did you?
No.
Okay. Well, there's some stuff to talk about there. I don't know if you want to circle back to that, but some really dirty, underhanded shit went on this week.
Okay, let's start off with it. You're already rolling.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, go for it.
So you probably all know that GameStop price has plummeted. The stock has gone down almost to like $50. People who bought in at $400, $300 some odd dollars, losing their shirts and everything. And there are a lot of different viewpoints on this, okay? And I'm not going to get into everything. Some of the issues are, the company who did this shorting to begin with, other people are saying they covered their shorts, which mathematically it doesn't look like it's possible. And they never actually said anything. They've said nothing, so they can't be hauled into court. But news outlets have said, oh, I talked to a person there and they covered their shorts, pushes the stock down. Short ladder attacks we talked about before where they trade them, pushing the stock down. And scaring people into selling. The biggest thing that bothers me, though, well, there's 2 things. Number one, the SEC, the governmental body in charge of all this, who, when there actually is a review of their own behavior, they actually do it themselves. So they look at their own work and say, oh, yeah, it was good. Nothing bad happened. They have announced that they are going to be investigating and lurking on message boards to see if they can find illegal activity. So we uncover the fact that Wall Street is doing the general public dirty, and their response is, yeah, we're going to look at the general public.
Yeah, we're coming to you instead. Outstanding.
Yeah, that's bullshit. But the other thing is what happened in news media, and this is really disheartening. I opened my my news on Tuesday, and you know what I saw? All over the news, Reddit shifts their stock their stock attack to silver.
I saw that too.
Reddit big, Wall Street Bets big on pharmaceuticals. You know what was happening in Wall Street Bets? They were like, do you guys have another message board somewhere? Because everyone was saying, don't buy silver, don't buy anything else. It takes money away from GameStop stock. unless these news organizations are just taking talking points from Wall Street, they are outright lying to force people to move into other things so the GameStop price could go down. And I mean, I've been on there this whole time and I'm like seeing silver. Nobody is saying buying silver.
Wow.
It's not just, oh, it could be seen as this way. No, it outright lying, and all the media outlets are doing it. This is the next stock, Reddit's going after. You've probably seen multiple articles like that. This is all from Wall Street Bets Reddit. They are not doing that.
So this looks to be a concerted effort to undermine what they've done.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. And that just, it's so disheartening. I mean, come on, like Wall Street can't afford to pay out a couple billion to all the people who got them at their own game. They'll change the rules. They'll make sure it'll never happen again. And none of them are losing the ability to pay their mortgage next month. Right. I mean, this isn't even real money they're playing with. But it's like they're not content with getting 90% of the pie for January and February. They have to have it all, which leads to what some other people think may have happened is the company may have actually bought the shorts at the $400 prices and immediately turned around and re-shorted the stock because they knew that everybody was pushing the price down. And now they have to, give them back at $50 a share. So they make all the money they would have lost, or they did lose. They earn it all back. It's dirty. It's disgusting. And I feel like we should just burn it down. It's basically a place for the rich to play with money and take money away from the small people. Mm-hmm. And the government
just illustrated. Yes.
Yeah. The government body in charge of it isn't going to do anything but look at us.
That seems a bit shady that the governing body of that is themselves. And I was like, they're just going to look at it and go, everything's fine. But the American people are the ones that did everybody dirty.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. And people are out. I mean, they put their entire life savings into this. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't risk there. And it was stupid. I mean, if I had the money, I might have bought a share or two, but I wouldn't have dumped my entire life savings. That's assuming I have a life savings. But given that, it's based on how everything is going, it was a smart move to make at the time. And the fact that everything that's driven this price down appears to be artificial manipulation, I feel like somebody should be held accountable.
Oh, 100%. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Well, Reddit will be
they're covering their own.
Yeah, Reddit's left holding the bag. Yep. So, yeah, that's the update on it. I really hope no one went out and invested a ton of money. I spent $40 on AMC and Nokia, and I'm just going to hold it.
And you say that because the next morning and Sunday morning, I was looking at that Cash app for my phone. I was going to put it on my phone, and I was kind of wondering, okay, well, what's the next big stock that they're going to try to do something to? And I saw the thing about silver, and I balked at buying some just because I wasn't 100% sure. And now what you're saying is it seems like that was something that they were doing just to kind of get people to look away from the GameStop
that's exactly
aspect of it and get you to look someplace else so that they could do something to get them to sell it so they could cover their losses.
Basically, yeah. It's financial manipulation. And you know what? If you or I did that, we would end up getting prosecuted.
Right.
But they're trying to say that they think maybe Reddit, it's covered under insider trading. This is information posted on a public message board. There's nothing insider going on here. There's nothing illegal about it. I'm just wondering if they're really going to try to trump up charges. God, can we come up with a new name for that? Trump up charges and somehow actually charge somebody, one of the owner or the people who started the board.
They'll figure out a way to hold somebody within Reddit responsible for it.
Yeah,
they'll figure out some way. Like you said, it's the body that they're governing themselves, and they'll be like, well, we've been doing it for 25 years. American people finally caught on to it, so they're at fault for catching on.
Basically, yeah.
Yep.
So that's what's up. You'll hear 6 months down the road that Reddit was fined whatever for allowing this to happen.
Maybe
something stupid like that.
Yeah.
To cover to take the blame off of the hedge fund that was doing it. Put the blame on Reddit for allowing somebody on their message board to post that to have these people buy the stock and influence the stock when that's what they were trying to do by themselves and make the money themselves. Yeah. And they got caught at it, and now they're trying not to own up to it and figure some way to blame it on everybody else.
They're going to use somebody as a scapegoat.
Exactly.
They're going to get punished for having the audacity to play their own game.
Yep.
Is what it's going to come down to.
Right. Agreed.
But that's all I got to say about that.
All right. So then we'll roll into what we normally would do. And what you guys playing?
Valhalla.
Still Valhalla. Yes.
Does anybody expect a different answer?
No, but how long can we keep this going?
Well,
How many
I
weeks?
don't know. I'm close to 80 hours in, and I don't know how far I am through the game, but man, just keeps getting better. But I can't really talk about it because you guys aren't there. Paul, did you play more than 12 and a half minutes this week?
I've actually clocked, according to the game, 13 hours into it.
Wow. You want to know something sick?
You did that the first day?
No, well, no. I got an email from Sony, basically the year of 2020, all this stuff, and it broke down my stats for the year. Game I played the most, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, 175 hours.
Holy shit.
In the month of in 2020. Oh, no. It gets better. Total number of gaming hours played, 577.
Jesus.
Almost 20 full days I spent playing PlayStation last year. Man, 44 is great.
Right. So yeah, I got kind of a little chuckle out of it. Because like I said, it says I put in like 12 hours into the game, and I've been going around doing all my quests. I'm actually to the point where they want me to head to England, but I'm ignoring them just to go around, finish getting wealth and mysteries and all that.
You did the fought the Kevorkian, Dr. Kevorkian there.
Yeah.
You killed him.
Yep.
Did you kill the elk?
Yep.
Did you beat the Drengar?
Yep.
Really? You beat that guy?
Yeah.
I hard time beating him for some reason.
The guy in the cave?
Yeah.
You beat him?
Wasn't I supposed to?
The one who asks you to kill him and fight him?
Yeah, the one that was Ragnar's guy.
I should go back and check that out then, because when I ran across him, I couldn't touch him. He was like way too powerful.
Oh, see, I killed him last night, and I'm now at a power level 24.
You're stronger than I am.
See, I don't know where I was. I didn't even understand how the power levels worked at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've been thinking about going back to Norway just so I can cross that off my list, because I've killed other Drangers since then. But he whipped my ass.
Yeah, same thing with me. I mean, I get a few blows in on him and whatnot, but he's been kicking the living shit out of me. So
go back now.
All the wealth. What'd you say?
You said go back now, not now. Don't leave the show, but go back.
I gotta go.
Your level now. Yeah, he just gets up and walks away. Peace. But yeah, I one instance killed him. He didn't kill me. I was close. I had to use my rations, and then I was almost dead. But I got him, and I got the spear for killing him. So nice. Because I was getting frustrated all this time. Where the fuck am I getting a spear that he was talking about I got to start using? And then I just got it from him. So.
How do you like the spear so far?
Yeah, I haven't beaten him, so.
I don't like that it's slower to attack, but I like the fact that it's got more of a range to it. You can get 2 hits in off of him before they get close enough to hit you.
I can't speak for how it is at your level or with that particular spear because I don't have it. All I can say is that the spears I'm using, crazy fast.
This one isn't.
Well, it may just be that you need to add more points to speed and stuff like that as you go, and it'll get faster. It's one of those things now that I understand how that works. I haven't been paying attention to see if it works, but gotcha. I do know that I'm super fast with the spears.
Awesome. No, it's a little bit slower, but I'd been rocking his dad's axe and a war hammer that I looted out of one of the raids, and that was fast as hell. And I got to take a serious look at my weapons too, because I was looking last night, and I have a flail. I have 5 or 6 different axes. I need to start looking at my weapons and upgrading. And same with my bows. I have 2 other different kinds of bows. I have a recurve bow and a predator bow. So
yeah,
and I'm still using my hunter bow. So
I'm still using the hunter bow. I have the different bow now. I have the the one that we talked about last week. But it's still a hunter bow. The different styles of bows actually display differently. Like I think the Predator bow is like goes totally first person or something. They actually behave differently.
No shit.
Yeah.
And now I have a helmet too. I looted a helmet somewhere.
It's his dad's helmet, isn't it?
Probably. I think that's when I got it. Is when I killed
Kyofe.
Him.
They announced this week that they are going to be bringing the trans morgue system from Odyssey over to this, which basically means pretty soon, once they update it, you will be able to keep the armor you have. So you have, if you like its stats, you like the whatever special powers it has, but you will be able to make it look like any other armor that you have owned.
Okay, cool.
So you can actually there are better, cooler looking armor sets than the one I have. But right now I won't wear them. Now you can make basically it's called transmorgify or something like that. Transmorgification.
They did that. I think it was in one of like the superhero RPGs, MMOs. I mean, they did the same idea where like you could keep your look, but you can keep changing your armor.
Yeah.
To get the better stats and all that. So okay, I get what you're saying on that one. Very cool. Yeah.
Paul, did you finally go? You after you killed
Dr.
Kevorkian, and you have to go meet your brother like on the other side of the mountain. You did that?
Yeah, where you had to go to the Althing, King Harold's Althing.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, I texted you that and said I just finished the Althing.
Yeah, it was.
And he's like the all thing.
Right.
But did you find all like the wealth and the mystery items and the artifacts and all that stuff?
No, and I was gonna head out until you texted me and said you had all the wealth in Norway, and I'm like, son of a bitch! Now I got to go through it. I think I have like 2 more slots in the thing for wealth, but artifacts and mysteries.
The artifacts, I'm having a hard time. There's 3 artifacts that you get. I've got 2 out of the 3. The other one is in one of the towns. It shows up. It's a little white dot.
Okay.
And I keep clicking on it. I keep going there, and I don't see anything.
Use Odin sites.
What's that?
Use Odin site to see if anything pops up, because that should show up, and it could be a flighting paper because those are hard to see. You get on top of them, and then you don't realize it's up in the fucking sky on something.
Okay, because I do the Odin site, and it says it's in the hut, but you go in the hut, and there's 2 letters to read. It's about a guy asking some girl to run away with him, and she wants to run away with his brother.
Okay, I've been to that hut. I remember those letters.
Everybody's been to that hut.
Look for like a destructible floor or something. See if there's something that can be broken. Also, sometimes like if you use Odin site and you suddenly find out that it's underneath you, which sucks, and then you have to figure out how to get in.
Okay.
I don't remember that specific one. You can always look this shit up on the internet too if you get really
sad. Yeah, that's how I found out how to get into a few of some of the wealth stuff, like the ones that are underwater. I couldn't figure out how to get into
fucking comb.
What's that? Oh, the comb. I fucking hate that.
I remember that.
Did you bang her though?
I banged her.
Okay, I was gonna say you chose to bang her, right?
I didn't. I actually just like my Odyssey playthrough, my character refuses to engage in such physical chicanery.
I'd wasted no time jamming that button.
Well, you see, all you get is things fade to black, and maybe you hear like a, and then you come, and I'm just like, man, anybody who actually does this on all the scenes, who chooses to do it, must be some kind of pervert, because that's not even enough to get a thrill out of. It's not like God of War where there's an actual mini game where you're banging her and watching her boobs.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, well, I don't know about the new God of War, the original God of War. Well, I don't know if you saw boobs, and then there was a mini game. But if you did her right, you knocked the vase off the table next to the bed, and that's what you were watching, and how you gauged how well you were doing is if you rocked the vase off the table. But yeah, no, I choose to not let my character get involved in those entanglements. She is just a pure warrior.
The only thing I haven't done yet, I didn't eat the mushroom yet.
I did.
That's fun.
I did it, and I am nowhere near ready for that. That says you have to be like level 240 or something.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Mushroom?
Yes. because that's up in the Hujikika area, and that's where the giants and stuff
come in. It's on the little island.
Yeah, dude. The mushroom things, the agaric challenges. You don't have to be any particular level for that. It's a puzzle.
You go into the little portals or whatever.
Yeah.
We're talking about a different one. The one I did, you eat the mushroom, and then all these like giants that look like frost giants come charging you. And I got one hit, and I'm dead. And it's up in the area because it's in the red on me. It's up to the north, and it starts with an H. That area, and it's got the skull next to everything, and it says that it's like suggested power level is 280 or 240.
Okay, is this in Britain? This isn't in Norway, then.
It is in Norway.
Oh, it is.
Okay, I know what you're talking about because that's right over by where you meet your brother. Just above that, there's a red thing that says suggested 280 or whatever. No, this is there's a little island in the middle, like when you're sailing around and going to do the raids and stuff like that. There's a little island, and if you got to get in close, it pops up with a mushroom on there, and you eat the mushroom, and then you have to go into, I think it's 3 separate portals, and you get something. I can't remember what it is.
You have to do it all in the right order too, and they get more complicated. Like in one, it was the one that there's a fox, and the fox just looks like the background, just kind of walking around, but the fox actually walks to the doors you're supposed to go to in order.
Oh, no kidding!
And you'd never notice. I never would have gotten it. So now that you know that, be looking for contextual clues like that, because it's not obvious all the time. Another one you're going to run into when you get to England is the glitch challenges, and that blew my mind. Basically, you find a glitch in the Matrix, and when you go to use it, all of a sudden Layla is herself in the world. So Layla Hassan is now in ancient England, and it's basically platforming. There's these structures that raise up into the sky, and you have to get to the top to get the information for the glitch. And there are moving platforms, and there's platforms that aren't actually solid unless you turn lasers onto them. It's crazy, but they're so much fun.
I'm assuming I have a ways to go before I get there, though.
I don't. I mean, once you get to England, you could just run across. I ran across it, accidentally. I didn't know they were in the game.
Nice.
And I was just like, "What is this?" I mean, you can see it looks like a glitchy thing, and I get up there, and all of a sudden I'm Layla, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And then I looked at it, and man, I mean, you're like so high off the ground, it gave me that uncomfortable feeling in my stomach and balls.
Nice.
Even though
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like. They get so high, it's crazy. But yeah, I've done several of them now, and they get more complex, but they get really cool.
Nice. But I'm assuming it takes you out of the element of the game for a little bit with something like that.
Yeah, but in a good way, because you're still in the game world. And what's happening is you're getting little bits and pieces. Like there's audio coming through that she can hear, but the people, her handlers can't. And they're trying to decode it. And I think all of she gets little flashes of information. And I think all of this is going to be pieced together as part of a larger mystery later on. Because it's easy to forget that the story you're playing is not the only story in the game. There's also a present day story, which gets resolved in little snippets here and there.
Okay. Again, got nowhere near that except the very beginning when it did that Animus thing. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because this is my first Assassin's Creed game. So, would it help to watch the movie?
No, but you should. It's a good movie.
Was it?
Yeah.
I heard it got panned pretty bad.
I watched it after playing Odyssey and Origins, and you know what? I mean, the purists may have an issue with it, but the Assassin's Creed idea is not as hard as some games to translate to a celluloid, but it's still challenging. Because it's kind of first person in somebody else's shoes. I think they did a good job of that because you really had to have it be third person in somebody else's shoes for it to work. So you definitely should watch it. I mean,
I'll have to check it out.
Worth an hour and a half of your time. What I really think you'll need to do is once you're done with this, you want to go back and play Origins and Odyssey.
Yeah, which I have coming. So yeah, Corbs, I went a little crazy on
apparently.
With
games,
Christmas money. Well, I mean, yeah. with Christmas money, my bosses actually both gave me Amazon gift cards, and so I cashed them in and bought like 3 or 4 different Assassin's Creed games. I told Hugh about it, and he's like, "So those will last you the rest of your life."
I'm going to suggest too that, and this is up to you, but I'm going to suggest that you maybe play Odyssey, then Origins. And the only reason is because you're already doing it out of order.
Right.
And I feel like Origins is, well, I mean, you could do it. It's not that big of a deal. Valhalla, the mechanics are closer to Odyssey than Origins,
Okay.
I feel. If you go to Origins first, you're going to feel a little clunky. But then again, that might be good because Valhalla is a little clunky. I don't know. Maybe you should just play them in order. I think Odyssey is the better game. But I still can't get through. Origins is so big. I'm not through it all. It's just huge. I mean, I think it feels like it's bigger than Odyssey, and I spent 175 hours on Odyssey. So go figure.
Right.
Speaking of games, though, I am so mad at my dog right now.
Uh-oh.
I was about to log off work yesterday, and I happened to be scrolling the news and saw, PS5 going to be in stock at Walmart at $310. So I clock off from work. I go to the Walmart webpage. I keep refreshing. All of a sudden, our dog wants to go out. I'm like, you can wait till afterwards. She's like, so I let her out. Okay. It's like 3:02. At 3:07, I go to let her in. She won't come in. She refuses. She's out in the snow playing. She will not come in. I said, fine, fuck it. Okay, you can stay till after this. So I'm sitting here. I've loaded my payment information. I'm hitting F5. 3:10 comes around. I hit the button. Nothing changes. Hit the button. Nothing changes. Probably 20 seconds in, nothing has changed so far. And the dog is freaking the fuck out. Like, let me in before I die. So I run. Now, you don't understand. I am probably, if there wasn't a wall here, I'm probably 3 feet away from the door I had to open, but I had to go around. But it was quick. I mean, I had her in the house in under 10 seconds. I get back here. I hit F5. It says, no, cart, add to cart, check out, sold out. I'm just like, are you kidding me? And I went out there and she's like, I'm like, fuck you.
I hate you.
Jeez.
So close. So I just, you know what? I was going to hold off on a PS5, but right now I really just want one so I can transfer all my shit over to it and give Avery the PS4 in the back room so we stop fighting over the PlayStation.
Not a bad plan.
No, she can go back there and play Minecraft till her heart's content.
See, I've got my PS3 for that. But I got Minecraft for Kylie. She played it once and moved on, as she always does.
Yeah, my son still plays it he plays it on his computer now.
Nice.
Well, you can't transfer your shit from Minecraft on PS4 to PS3, so I'd actually have to buy the game over again.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah. I think I have it on the 3. I think I bought it on that. I'm gonna have to look now. I don't know. You do know our good friend Carlton has himself a PS5. He scored.
Of course he does.
He got lucky, yeah. And then he texted me 45 minutes after they sold out to tell me about it because that was good of him.
Nice. He got it on Friday?
No. He's had it since beginning of January. So. Well,
the shortage is going to continue. Apparently, it has to do with resistors or transistors. There's a huge shortage of them. It's about to start impacting our other electronic devices too.
Oh, wonderful. That's good.
Like phones and things like that.
It doesn't matter. I won't be able to upgrade a phone for quite a while either. So.
You got a flip phone? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, there's one on my Verizon account. Does that count? My dad still is only allowed to use flip phones after what he did. So.
No, I know what he did.
I told this story before, didn't I?
I feel like you told a story. Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, short version of it is when he was watching the kids one day, I come home and he's freaking out that his phone doesn't work anymore. We get to the bottom of it and come to find out he left it in his hoodie when he did the wash. So he washed it and dried it. No, just washed it. I'm sorry. And then freaked out and knew he was going to be in trouble. So he put it in my microwave to try and dry it. Yeah. So I had to replace the phone for him. I took him to Verizon and made him tell the Verizon people what he did.
But what does that say about you? That he knew he was going to get in trouble. He's scared to death of you. If I am that age and I want to fucking microwave my phone, my kids give me shit about it, they'll be getting my walking stick in their ass.
But again, you have to understand who my dad is. Like, he doesn't have a driver's license. He's never had a driver's license, cannot handle technology. He's basically my kid is what it is. So like, I have to take him everywhere, doctor's appointments, fill out all of his stuff. I just signed him up for his COVID vaccine.
Oh, let's not go there.
Yeah. Well, he wants it.
I did my mom's. I got my mom signed up for hers. I went on the website there to do it, and holy.
Right?
Fuck. I'm dreading the time I got to sign up for mine. It took me, like, she was on the night before on her phone trying to do it, and there was a slot. She clicked on it. She put in all of her information, but didn't get any confirmation. She got like a pre-registration confirmation in her email. So we were looking at it, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So I'm like, you know what? I was like, fuck it. I went on the government website, got on the list. Nothing available at the fairgrounds. Nothing available. So I'm clicking on it, going back. Finally, one shows up. So I click on it, start to go in and fill out all the information. I don't have her insurance card with me, so I gotta wait for her to give it to me. Put all the information in, click submit, no longer there. Somebody filled out the information before me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's like trying to get a PS5.
Right?
4.
Oh, it was 4 for you? It was 3 times for me to get it to my dad's.
God, I was not happy. So finally there was one came up, there was 2 of them. It was 8 o'clock and like 2:30 in the afternoon. I said, I'm clicking on the first one and I'm going through and doing all this information. I put 8 o'clock in the morning. I got it. She got signed up for it. I'm like, you're fucking done.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit. I said, I understand why people are so pissed right now at this.
Yeah, it's insane. But I get it because everybody's jumping on it doing the same thing.
Right.
Like trying to get a PlayStation 5. Yeah.
We can't even get them yet, can we? We're not old enough.
We can't.
No, we can't yet.
Next phase, at least I know Corbs and I will be allowed to because diabetes is on the list. So we'll be in.
Does working my way there count?
Working hard to get there. Can you put that in the notations and see if they'll do it?
I'm waiting for that achievement to pop up on my screen.
All right, guys, real quick, what's got you geeked?
Bacon.
Oh, I saw that picture.
Bacon. Yes. I took a slab of pork belly. I cured it for the past 2 weeks. Today I smoked it and brought it in the house, and I sliced a few slices off and fried them up real quick. Oh my God. I am never buying bacon again. I'm just going to make it at home. It is so fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And that's all I got. I mean, bacon.
Nothing wrong with that. Bacon. Corbs.
Bacon.
For me, it's the new TV.
Okay.
New TV this morning at 7 o'clock. 7 a.m. this morning, I was at fucking Walmart buying a TV.
Nice. Now,
just like we talked about last week.
Right? That's
exactly.
Messed up.
Hey, Paul, could we talk about me buying a PlayStation?
Right. Put that in there and see if that magically happens too.
So what happened was last night I got home from date night, which, by the way, Paul, you've texted again on Thursday nights.
You're welcome.
Just to let you know, every Thursday. I wait for the text message every Thursday now.
Next time you got to just text. So how's the soldier doing?
So I got home from date night, went in my room. I put my son to bed, all that stuff. I was getting ready for bed. I was watching TV. So I laid down and fell asleep. The TV's still on. I usually fall asleep with the TV on. I wake up about 2 o'clock in the morning. I only been asleep for about 2 hours. I wake up and I'm like, I hear like people talking, but the TV is black. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Did I put the sleeper on my TV or whatever? So I shut my TV off, figured maybe that there was something going on with the TV. So shut the TV off, count to 10, turn it back on. No picture. So I'm like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. My TV, something's going on with my TV. So I get on my phone, go through to figure out what to do with it. They say to unplug it, hold the power button for 1 minute to reset the TV. I did that. Plug it back in, turn it back on. No picture, just sound. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. My fucking TV is dead.
That sucks.
So now I'm sitting there and I'm laying in bed. I'm trying to figure out, so I shut the TV off because obviously it doesn't fucking work. So now I can't go back to sleep. So now I'm awake. 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm in bed, trying to like do stuff on my phone to make myself sleep. I'm fucking wired at this point. I can't understand why. Bouncing off the walls, whatever it might be. So finally I started looking for TVs. Because I got to go buy a TV.
Right.
And I kept saying to myself, if Walmart was open right now, like it used to be open 24 hours a day, I would have been there 2 a.m. to buy a TV. That's how freaking stressed out I was. So I got up at 5 o'clock this morning and said to my mom, I'm like, look, Walmart opens at 7. I'm going to be there at 7 o'clock to buy a new TV. She's like, what? So I explained to her what happened. She's like, okay. 7 o'clock rolls around. My ass is in the car heading for Walmart. I get to Walmart. Now I get there. I figure, well, I'm going to buy the TV. I'm going to buy the wall mount and put it up on my wall as opposed to having it on sitting on a TV stand. So I bought the wall mount. I found the TV I wanted, $220. Nice. So it's 43-inch TV, not a bad TV. It's a Roku TV like I've got throughout the house. I go to pick it up. It's fucking chained to the one behind it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Give me my TV.
I gotta buy this TV to get that TV? I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. So now I'm looking for an associate. Can't find an associate anywhere.
They don't work that early.
I'm like, you gotta be
and if they
fucking...
did, they'd be like, the TVs are chained together? What?
So I'm walking around and they got the middle aisle there where they got all the TVs set up. You can buy the TVs. There was like 50-inch TVs, 75-inch TVs. I mean, they were expensive. I was like, I'm not buying a $500 TV for my bedroom. I mean, I probably would, but that's besides the point. So I walk around and I find a Roku 40-inch TV that's not chained to the TV behind it. I'm like, sold. I'm taking this one.
This one's easier. I'm taking it.
Walk to the front. Guy associate coming this way. He's got the cash drawers in his hands. He's got this biggest dumbfounded look on his face. Like, this asshole's in the store at 7 o'clock in the morning buying a TV. I go, dude, you got no fucking idea what kind of night I've had. I walk right up by it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what's got me geeked. I got a whole new TV mounted it on the wall today. I came home. I set the TV up and put it on the TV stand so I could go back to sleep.
Is it the same size as your last one? Bigger?
No, it's
smaller?
bigger than my last one.
Nice, good,
perfect.
So I did that. I fell back to sleep. I got up around 2 o'clock, and then put it mounted on. I waited for my son to get out of school so he could help me, and mounted it to the wall. So now it's on my wall. So now today when we're done, I can play Valhalla.
There you go.
Up on the wall. But that's what's got me geeked. I got a new TV. I had been looking for a new TV. I bought my son one when we set his room up. I put his computer. He's got his computer, a brand new desk for his computer, and I put his TV up on his wall for him. I bought a new TV over the summer last summer, and I was like, well, I'm going to do it for my room too. My TV was like 10 years old anyways. I'd had it for a while. I knew it was going to die at some point. So that's what had me geeked, is I actually went out at 7 o'clock this morning and bought a new TV.
Early morning TVs. Got to love it.
Yep. So. All
right. Mine's a quick one too. We're doing our first sledding session of the year tomorrow morning. Sledding. No.
Oh, okay.
That's a different story. Taking the kids sledding tomorrow. I guess we're gonna go hit a quite sizable hill at Long Branch. So we're gonna see if we can't murder one of the children that way.
If you're looking for a place to go sledding, over here in North Syracuse, Centerville Park. Okay. It's right on South Bay Road.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
It's a small little hill. I mean, you still have on. I took Bryce there for the first time we went sledding. Nice. So it's a small little hill. I mean, obviously, Long Branch is closer to you.
Corbs, you okay? Do you need to be burped?
No, I'm good now.
Perfect. Got it out. All right. So I think it's a good time to go to break. We'll come back and we'll get right into Hugh's news.
All right.
Good.
The 4th annual Sci-Fi Horror Fest returns in 2021 with an all-new location. This family-friendly event will have new celebrity guests, new activities and attractions, as well as a diverse selection of vendors, ranging from horror and sci-fi merchandise, artists and authors, tattoo artists, podcasts, as well as unique vendors like breweries and wineries. Sci-Fi Horror Fest will be held on August 27th and 28th at the Vernon Downs Casino and Hotel in Vernon, New York. Guest announcements will begin after the new year. For all up-to-date information, including tickets, vendor space, and sponsorship packages,
go to www.sci-fi-horrorfest.com. Please note, dates of event are subject to change due to any lasting issues due to COVID-19. All right, Hugh, and now the news.
All right, first up, apparently I should know who this is. Actor Dustin Diamond passed away 3 weeks after being diagnosed with cancer this week. He was famous for playing something called a Screech and being the first person with a porn star nose to start their TV career and then move to porn. Insert Betty wishes he was saved by the bell joke here. In related news, a real actor died today, actually, Christopher Plummer. He passed away this morning at 91. May he rest in peace in the undiscovered country. Next up, did you really have to ask to know it was a bad idea? According to comicbookmovie.com, Kevin Feige has been asked if he thinks a Star Wars / MCU crossover could happen at some point. To paraphrase his polite answer, fuck no, that is a stupid idea. Are you a fucking idiot? Finally, lock up your jewelry. Cronenberg is coming. Marvel is reprinting Immortal Hulk 43 for a panel that appears to depict anti-Semitic slurs. Artist Joe Bennett apologized, saying it was an accident because the words are backwards and he got confused when he was doing it. Now, let's just put this in perspective for a second, okay? This scene has two characters sitting in a place at a pawn shop or jewelry shop or something, talking about money. In the background, you see a plate glass window. The top, it says Cronenberg's Jewelry. Now, I don't know if David Cronenberg is Jewish or not, but it's a Jewish-sounding name, so maybe. This comic does have a history of dropping famous horror movie director names and references, so it's possible that was just the time. They had a list, and this issue was Cronenberg. The next thing, it says jewelry store on the plate glass window, except it's backwards because they're inside, and one of the characters' heads is in front of the word jewelry. So what it actually comes out and it says is jewelry store. Okay. Still really, really bad. Not sure. I mean, there are people who get paid to look at these things before they're printed, and I don't know how they miss that. I would miss it. I'm just breezing through it. But if it's your job to make sure there's no bullshit in this comic, come on. But he said, I was writing it backwards. It was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that. Underneath that is a fucking Star of David, which there is no reason for a Star of David to be on a jewelry store window. So, I just got to ask these comic book artists that keep getting in trouble and being called out for putting, racist slurs and things like that in their comic books. What are you doing? I mean, this is not, fine art. You are not going to go on and be the face of the resistance. I mean, if you're lucky, in 100 years, you're not known as the guy that drew weird boobs on girls. Okay. It's a fucking comic book. Please stop doing this. I don't understand. But of course, if you're in Congress, then, Jewish space lasers are okay. So maybe our anger at him, is a little misplaced. Who knows? And that's the news, kids. Now I'm going to go make me some popcorn and dive back into the internet to see how shaken and stirred everyone is that the guy who wrote Cake and Sodomy turned out to be a shitty boyfriend. Paul?
In other news, the longest recorded flight of a chicken is 13 seconds. Back to you, Corbs.
What the fuck was that? I got nothing after that.
How about your classic movie review?
Is this a thing? Because that would be hilarious.
What the hell was that?
I think Paul's co-opting my segment.
And that was supposed to be your segue, by the way, to go into your movie review.
Well, it would have helped if you told him or any of us.
Seriously, I was like, what the? You're talking about chickens for?
Yeah, that was going to be my transition, but I totally forgot to tell Corbs to just run into his review afterwards.
I got nothing.
Bacon!
I got nothing. I don't even know where to go from there.
Well, hopefully into your fucking movie review for the third
Really?
time.
Third time.
It's like you're talking to my kid.
It's like talking to my kid. What are you talking about?
Maybe you are talking to my kid. Corbs, are you like sticking your finger in your butt and like licking it or anything weird like that?
Not tonight.
Oh, okay, then no.
That was date night.
And she's like, no, my butt, not yours.
I slapped my own ass and called my mom. well, on that note, I gotta go. I don't know. Classic movie review, I guess. So I'm gonna do Roadhouse.
Woohoo!
The Patrick Swayze vehicle, I guess we'll call it. Released in 1989. So yes, I went back to the old 80s movies. Stars Patrick Swayze, Kelly Lynch, Ben Gazer, and Sam Elliott, which I'm a big fan of Sam. It's Patrick Swayze stars as Dalton, lean martial arts expert working as a cooler, aka head bouncer, for bars. He travels from bar to bar, making bad bars into responsible, respectable bars. As well as a cooler, he does have a philosophy degree from NYU. Man's search for faith and shit. He's hired by a bar owner in a small town in Missouri. The bar's name is the Double Deuce. Arrives in town.
That's like two shits, right?
What's that?
Okay. I said that's like two shits, right?
Yes, Double Deuce, yes. Or as Sam Elliott calls it, the Double Douche. He arrives in town at the bar. He first night there, he kind of goes in and observes everything and everyone before really accepting the job. First thing he does is he fires the head bouncer at the time, which is played by Terry Funk from wrestling fame. Still wrestling fame. He comes to the bar, he says it's his way or the highway. While there, he falls in love with Elizabeth Clay, better known as Doc Clay, played by Kelly Lynch. She is the niece of Red Webster, one of a local auto parts store owner. Dalton kind of converses with Wade Garrett, played by Sam Elliott. According to Dalton,
not the wrestler.
Okay.
Okay.
Not the wrestler. According to Dalton, Wade Garrett is the best cooler going. He's the one that trained Dalton. You find out that the richest man in Jasper, which is the small town in Missouri, played by is Brad Wesley, played by Ben Gazer. He owns a town and has been stealing money all along from all the owners in the town. Wesley starts to feel threatened by Dalton. First, she tries to buy him off, then begins to target the folks that have become friends with Dalton. Drives a monster truck through an auto dealership, which is pretty cool. Burns down Red's auto parts store. Wade Garrett shows up because he gets a call from Dalton about Wesley, and so he shows up. Obviously the two of them work together to clean up the town or whatever. In the end, the climactic interaction between Wesley and Dalton, he makes a threat to either Garrett or the doctor, Elizabeth Clay. Dalton runs to make sure the doc's okay, but she, at this point, feels threatened by him because all these people are getting hurt because of him. You come to find out that what happened was Wesley actually killed his friend Wade Garrett, beat him up, stabbed him, finds him dead on the bar at the Double Deuce. So Dalton fights back against Wesley, charges the compound where he lives, and they take the town back, and the town folk finally stand up to the antagonist, Wesley, Red Wesley. Other than that, the music's pretty good, played by Jeff Healy. You might know him, might not. He is a Canadian guitarist. His claim to fame is he's blind, and plays the guitar blind. And the music I think the music is fantastic throughout the entire movie. Most of it's played by his band. Action scenes, I think, were pretty good. Sometimes a little hard to believe. Can you really rip a guy's throat out with your bare hands? I haven't really tried it, but I'm assuming not plausible. Although The Rock did it too, so nobody knows that reference. All right, good. Central Intelligence, if you don't understand where that one came from. But the fight scenes, all in all, I think well choreographed. A lot of the martial arts were pretty good. So again, classic bad '80s movie because everybody kind of bags on it. For me, again, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5. It's not a bad movie, but again, it's considered a classic bad movie. It's a movie that when it's on, sometimes you stop and watch it. I can't stop and watch it in the middle. I only like certain parts of the movie. So if I see it on, sometimes I watch it. Sometimes I flip back and forth between it. So that's what I got for you folks. Y'all can figure it out from there.
But, I looked it up to see if it's possible to tear someone's throat out with your bare hand. And basically what I am getting from Quora is technically it is possible, but most people would not be able to do it because it requires a strong grip, but also some sort of a twist or something to tear the skin, which is not incredibly hard to do, but doing both at the same time is very hard. The worst part about this entire thing is I go to search, is it possible to rip a throat out with your bare hand? And one of the top searches that popped up is it possible to rip off my penis with my bare hand? So I'm just, wow. I wouldn't have expected that to play so high in the search results, but okay.
All right. And on that note.
Yes. So our good friend Roger Ebert, he lines up pretty well with you. He gave it 2.5 stars, and he has this to say: the guiding spirit of Roadhouse can be glimpsed in one particular scene, which is set in the trophy room of an evil sadist who holds a helpless town in his iron grasp. His hunting trophies include not only the usual deer, elk, and antelopes, but also orangutans, llamas, and a matched set of tropical monkeys. This guy went hunting in the zoo. We are expected to believe that the sadists financed these hunting expeditions by shaking down the businessmen in a town that, on the visible evidence, contains a bar, a general store, a Ford dealership, and 2 residences. Roadhouse is the kind of movie that leaves reality so far behind that you have to accept it on its own terms. Was it intended as a parody? I have no idea, but I laughed more during this movie than during any of the so-called comedies I saw during the same week. Consider, for example, the movie's hero, a barroom bouncer named Dalton and played by Patrick Swayze, last seen in Dirty Dancing. Here is a man known as the best bouncer in the business, and the business must pay well since he owns a Mercedes convertible. But he is not simply your average tough guy. He has a PhD in philosophy from New York University and is capable of deep insights into his trade, such as, in a fight, nobody wins. Dalton is summoned to a small Missouri town where the Double Deuce, the local nightclub, is terrorized nightly by the local goons and louts. That's a word that needs to come back, louts. His assignment: bring peace to the bar so the owner can remodel and expand. His enemies: the hired guns of Brad Wesley, played by Ben Gazzara, the extortionist with the exotic trophy room. Everyone in this movie has names out of a Western. Not only Dalton and Brad Wesley, but also such characters as Wade Garrett, Doc, Emmett, and Cody. Doc is a girl, but never mind. Dalton wades into the fray on opening night and finds himself in the middle of a fight in which the furnishings of the Double Deuce are reduced to matchsticks. Wounded by a knife cut, he goes to the hospital where the gash is sewn closed by Doc, played by Kelly Lynch, a beautiful blonde who is impressed by Dalton's doctorate in philosophy and his ability to withstand pain. In no time at all, Dalton and Doc are making love on the porch roof outside Dalton's rented room, a roof that can clearly be seen by the evil Wesley, who once entertained hopes of becoming Doc's lover. These 2 houses on either side of a river seem to be the only homes in town, and most of what goes on in each house seems to be staged for the benefit of the other. Dalton sees he needs help to clean up the bar, so he calls in his best friend, Wade Garrett, played by Sam Elliott, who is the second best barroom bouncer in the world. Note to cable TV operators: the world's finals of bouncing might pull in some decent ratings. This upsets Wesley to no end, since his income depends on maintaining an iron rule of terror over the local townspeople. Roadhouse is said to be based on an actual case in Missouri where the local bad guy, universally hated by everyone in town, was murdered in broad daylight, and no one in town seems to have seen a thing. If that is the genesis for the story, everything else in it seems to have come from a cheerful willingness to go over the top in every way possible. This is the first movie in a long time to use the line, "prepare to die." And how long has it been since the same movie contained A, a dash into an exploding building to save an occupant, B, a rock and roll band protected by a plexiglass shield. Well, you see that every day now. C, goons who line up for instructions and call the bad guy boss. D, a lecture of the fine points of bouncing. C, a sexy woman doctor who goes all the way on the first date. And F, random quotations from the great Western philosophers. This movie is so top heavy with plot, it can even afford to ignore some obvious possibilities. For example, Swayze's rented room is on a ranching spread across the river from Gazzara, and Gazzara is so busy with his other villainous duties that he doesn't have time for the standard subplot in which he wants to run the rancher off the land so he can build a subdivision. Of course, in a town with 2 residences, there may not be much pent-up housing demand.
He is firing on all cylinders.
Oh my God, this is a good one. Roadhouse exists right on the edge between the good bad movie and the merely bad. I hesitate to recommend it because so much depends on this ironic vision of the viewer. This is not a good movie, but viewed in the right frame of mind, it is not a boring one either.
All right.
And that was our good friend Roger Ebert's review of Roadhouse.
I think that's the best one yet.
Yes, I enjoyed that one. And I don't read them ahead of time. I get them. I save them for this. So I really don't have any of my bullshit lined up beforehand. It's all off the cuff. All right. So it is Friday night while we're recording. And every week we talk about it. So guys, holy fuck with WandaVision.
Yeah.
This was a big one. And Laura came to me this afternoon when she was watching it and said that there was a problem with the recap. The recap is wrong. That's what I did. And first I scolded her and said, if you fucking spoil anything, which she didn't. But so then I watched it. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it. Well, apparently the wording when she speaks to Vision about Geraldine is different from
I did catch that. She said she doesn't belong here.
Yes.
Which is not what she said before.
No, she said she had to go or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Is she fucking with our recaps?
I don't know. I don't know if they're fucking with the recaps. And good job on that one, Laura, by the way. If they're fucking with it or if it just helped to quicken the recap. You know what I mean? Because that is exactly what she did tell Geraldine. Is you don't belong here. So I mean, it could go either way, and that's pretty fucking cool regardless.
That's a weird continuity error for them to make, though.
Yeah, and that was my response to Laura originally. Is Marvel doesn't make mistakes like that.
Yeah.
So,
man, what if she starts fucking with us, the viewers?
That would be something. And can I tell you, when she came out to confront the sword agents, she was legit fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, in this episode, I mean, you can see the cracks now. Like, wow. And all of this is in a span of 9 days. Did you guys catch that?
Yep.
Right. And I mean, it's shit's leaking out. I mean, now we find out that she broke into a secure facility and stole Vision's corpse to start making all of this happen. But then she tells Vision that she doesn't know how it started. So
yeah, I almost feel like there's some sort of a disconnect there, because I don't think, I don't want to say that somebody else started it, but I feel like she's not completely in control.
I agree.
Yeah, something's not right there, because I mean, she's telling him that she doesn't know what's going on, and she seems sincere, and it just for her to lie so blatantly like that doesn't seem in character. Even if she is, experiencing horrible grief, I feel like there's something else going on there.
Yes, agreed. Corpse?
Yes.
Do you have anything to say?
I don't know. I liked the episode. It was a lot of information forthcoming and stuff like that. So, I kind of caught the fact that when she broke in, didn't they say something like he didn't want to be used as a weapon? And that seemed to be like what he was being used as there. Like they had him hooked up to like all these, for what it looked like to me, like cables, like they were trying to use like his body to figure out how to do stuff. Am I wrong in thinking that?
I don't know. It was hard to see.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was just because he was a unique life form, if they were studying him, or if they were trying to use him in some way.
Right.
Which
And,
I
mean,
wouldn't put it past them.
They also said that, he didn't want to be resurrected either. I caught that when they said that. Obviously, her doing that violates that for him, obviously.
Do you recall? Did he say that in a?
Well, they said it in the episode. They said it in the episode.
Yeah, I caught that. I was wondering if it was said in the movie, Paul. Do you happen
No, I don't think they ever mentioned anything about a living will or any of that.
Yeah.
And what he wanted, but I mean, and it fills it in, and it helps heighten the conflict between the two of them when all the shit hits the fan.
But I have to wonder: is he really alive, or is she just animating him?
I'm gonna say the latter because of what we saw. We saw Flash's last episode of him as a corpse. So
yeah,
but he seems to be able to operate independently of her influence, which doesn't track with him just being reanimated.
Right.
With her manipulating everybody and manipulating him, how is he able to do? Like, how is he able to touch that one guy that she's controlling, and he starts freaking out? How is he able to differ? How is he able to step aside from her controlling him, and obviously him not become Vision in front of that guy, and not be a corpse.
Yes, and
so I think what that is he actually alive, or is this all just a figment of her imagination?
Or does it play into the whole multiverse thing? Is it even our Vision?
True.
Oh.
True.
Because as we saw from the end of the episode, shit's in play.
And Corbs, do you know what happened at the end of the episode?
And he's not saying that condescendingly.
No.
It's just
with what's his
Pietro
kid from her? It's her brother, Quicksilver.
Yeah,
but it's the kid that was the Quicksilver in whichever, I can't remember the actual movie it was. Was it Days of Future Past?
In the X-Men, the Fox franchise.
Yes.
So it's a different person who played Quicksilver in this universe in Age of Ultron.
Yes. And I love the fact that they called it out in the show with Darcy saying, "Oh my God, she recast Pietro."
Yep. Yeah, I did catch that, and I kind of said the same thing. I was like, "Oh, that's the kid from the other one," and then I kind of put the two and two together. That was her brother, but obviously
should happen.
Right. Yeah. Weird shit's happening.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind. I kind of just sat there for a minute afterwards. I'm like, what? Well, it's what Kristen called it. I was having a nerd boner. I'll write that down in a minute.
That's the name of the podcast. That's the name of the episode.
That one's not going to fly on Apple. Come on.
All right, I'll have to find a way around that.
Nerd chubby.
That might work.
That's something completely different. Although that could apply to all
chubby nerd. And did you notice the real quick redirect when they started asking about Captain Marvel to Monica?
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
We're not talking about her.
Yeah. And we're gonna see that play out in Captain Marvel too.
Why do you think that is? Because I saw that, but I was kind of left a little confused by that.
Well, because Captain Marvel was her mom's best friend.
Yes.
And whatever happened, and obviously her mom got cancer from something. So she died of cancer a couple years after the finger snap.
Yep.
So, and then when she came back, they were like, "Oh, your mom died 3 years after you
disappeared."
Yeah. So I don't know how her mom. Obviously, I'm hoping they explain how she gets cancer in Captain Marvel 2, or at some point
when you hang out with Kree.
She's radioactive. Oh, Megan.
I was gonna say, cut it short. After 30 seconds, we have to pay them.
So,
a whole lot of shit going on. I think we're past the midway point now for the series, right? Yeah. So shit's gonna happen fast and furious the rest of the way, and I don't mean cars and secret agents. No.
So,
secret agents.
What was the TV show that it was?
What?
Some 80s show it must have been because of the really long intro song.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured 80s, but I was trying to figure out kind of like what the TV show was. It like
Right? Was it? See, I was almost thinking it was Family Ties.
Yeah, I was thinking it's kind of the same thing. Family Ties, something like that.
Growing Pains, Charles in Charge, any of that shit.
Any of those that fit.
Charles in Charge, I never thought about that one.
And whatever it was, apparently whatever the house was based on, Laura was fucking in love with it. She said it was her favorite sitcom house.
Well, you should have fucking asked her.
I didn't care that much at that point. I was trying to watch the show.
No. Get your priorities straight.
I did.
Well, it did have that staircase that went up and to the right, so that could actually be the Cosby Show. It was the opposite way in the Cosby Show, but
Cosby was when it went left.
Or what about Full House? I got a Full House vibe off it at the end with Pietro because he would look like he was trying to do the whole cool Uncle Jesse thing.
Oh yeah, that could be it too.
But that was 90s, wasn't it?
Late 80s, early 90s.
You guys talk. I'll look it up.
And it also threw me off the fact that we were talking about the internet and email because wasn't the 80s a little early for that as well?
No,
original release September 27th, 1987.
Okay, so it could technically work. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but they were talking that was like basic email.
Yeah, very.
And I like the fact that it was, an email from Sword. And they were all kind of like laughing in the background, and he's kind of going like, "What the
hell is wrong with you people?" Yeah.
And then, of course, that's when he obviously realized. I think that's when he realized something wasn't right. He started to kind of figure it out, like, okay, what the hell is going on, and whatnot. That's when he obviously did the mind touch thing on that guy, and he started freaking out. And obviously, he jumped into the 2020 and was like, "Where's my phone?" type of thing. My family's got to be crazy worried about me or whatever. And he's trying to calm him down and whatnot. And he just kind of like, what?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
It seems like they're aware of how long they've been under control, kind of like they're conscious during it.
Right. Yeah. And even at the beginning of the episode with Agnes, the neighbor, when Vision did his whole thing.
Yeah, and he
was like, "Do we need to start from the top?" Like they're
like it was
actors in the TV show. Yeah.
And Vision caught it. And Wanda kind of tried to play it off.
Yeah, they got uncomfortable fast.
Right. Yeah.
Which is the point, I'm assuming. I mean, it's we're supposed to be building the tension for all this now, and it's working. And the show is becoming must-see TV every week. Like this is.
And that was one of the things I was like, I got to get my TV set up so that I can watch WandaVision. So that we can talk about it, because obviously if I don't watch it, we can't talk about it. So I got to get it done so that I can start watching, so I can at least turn it on so I can watch it, so we can talk about it. So, and I look forward to watching it every Friday. So
me too. This has taken the place of The Mandalorian for me. Like it's Friday evening TV. It has to be done.
Yeah.
Kind of like back in the old days on Channel 9, wasn't it? That was all must-see TV or whatever. Or was that Channel 3?
Yeah.
TGF.
That was ABC.
Yeah, that's Channel 9. Yep, right.
That's where Full House was.
Yes.
Yeah, must see TV, I believe, was NBC.
Yep. So I'm merging them.
God,
it's that multiverse.
All of this useless knowledge that doesn't matter.
To add it, yeah, no. But phenomenal show. Each episode just keeps getting better and better.
It does.
I really thought Wanda was gonna fuck them up when she came out. Like I thought someone was getting bloody on that.
But. And I like the fact when she saw Geraldine, like, "Oh, you're still here." I thought she was gonna do something to her, and then she kind of talked her down a little bit, which I thought was kind of interesting. That she was in the TV show. I think she kind of realized that she wasn't who she thought she was, and that's why she kicked her out, type of thing. But then when she saw her still there, she's like, wait a minute, this girl actually might be somebody I can rely on at some point.
I think we're going to see star-making turns for some of these characters coming out of this. Like, they have much bigger plans for them. I mean, just from the way everything's going, I really can't wait for a Secret Invasion now, because I got a feeling that's where we're going to see a bunch of the sword stuff come through it.
Yeah.
phenomenal stuff. I mean, I figured Marvel couldn't go wrong in this. What?
Okay. Do you need to be burped?
No, I just did it. I'm good now.
So is Secret Invasion, is that the next one coming out?
I'm not sure on the timeline on it, but it's going to be the Samuel L. Jackson led one about the Skrulls and stuff like that. So it's going to be Nick Fury. It's basically going to springboard off of the end of Captain Marvel, I'm assuming. Was that Captain Marvel or was it Endgame?
Which
Endgame? It had to be Endgame.
No. Captain Marvel, when she with the Skrulls and when he was a Skrull, when he was one of the. You talking about that, or are you talking about the actual introduction of the Skrull?
I'm talking about the introduction of the Skrulls was definitely Captain Marvel, but I'm talking about when we saw him
come back and he was actually
and he looked like he was on a beach, but then it goes back and he's on like a starship.
Yeah.
So that was an after credit scene. I thought it was definitely wasn't Endgame because there was no after credit scenes for that. So I'm confused on where it's at.
Wasn't Infinity War?
Nope, because he was dead at the end of Infinity War.
Yeah.
Not that it really matters.
Maybe it was an end scene on Captain Marvel then?
No, that doesn't make sense.
No.
He wouldn't have been in space back. That was set in what, the 80s?
Yeah.
90s?
90s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. We can look it up for next week.
Yes, definitely. So I think we're going to cut to break again. Come back. I have a burning thing I want to discuss with it being just about Valentine's Day. By the time this comes out,
I do not want to discuss your burning thing.
Seriously, I'm about to say,
we're going to. It's what's going to happen.
Do you need some medicine for your burning thing?
I have a lotion. We're good. All right, stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in just a minute.
The 4th annual Sci-Fi Horror Fest returns in 2021 with an all-new location. This family-friendly event will have new celebrity guests, new activities and attractions, as well as a diverse selection of vendors, ranging from horror and sci-fi merchandise, artists and authors, tattoo artists, podcasts, as well as unique vendors like breweries and wineries. Sci-Fi Horror Fest will be held on August 27th and 28th at the Vernon Downs Casino and Hotel in Vernon, New York. Guest announcements will begin after the new year. For all up-to-date information, including tickets, vendor space, and sponsorship packages, go to www.sci-fi-horrorfest.com. Please note, dates of event are subject to change due to any lasting issues due to COVID-19.
And we are back.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Did you hit the record button?
Yes. Snack time's almost over. It's okay.
Just for that.
More snacks. It's not bacon. I threw it right to you and you didn't even shout it. What the fuck, dude?
I got chocolate in my mouth.
Cause the burning, we're good.
Actually, first, like you just mentioned it before I hit the record button. We almost let the whole episode go by and not discuss any kind of sports.
When is the Super Bowl happening?
The Super Bowl happens this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Like 2 days from now?
Yes. Yep. From the time of recording. By the time it's released, it'll probably be the day of or maybe the day after, because depending on how ambitious I am or if we get company I want to avoid in the house.
I don't watch the Super Bowl.
I watch it every year. I enjoy it.
But see, let me ask you a question. You watch Super Bowl. Do you watch it for the game? Do you watch it for the commercials?
Both.
Okay.
Because, I mean, that is true. Now, Kristen will sit down and watch it just for the commercials. But I've always watched the game. I enjoy football. Football is the one sport these days that I actually will sit down and watch. I've watched all season long this year, and boy, has it been fucking weird. Yeah. But I do enjoy it, and I'm kind of interested to see Mahomes go up against Brady, especially in his 10th appearance. Yeah.
Hey, 10 Super Bowls, man. I'm not gonna. That's not a shake a stick at all. I mean, that's pretty good. And Paul, I think you and I might have talked about this at a time. I mean, obviously everybody knows I'm a Colts fan. I'm a Peyton Manning fan, so I don't like Brady, never have. Because, I mean, at the time, you got to admit, they were probably the two best quarterbacks in the league.
Without a doubt.
And they always ended up in the championship game, AFC championship game against each other, and one or the other one was going to Super Bowl. And it was always Brady. So, obviously, I didn't like it because because he kept
taking your spot away. Yeah.
He kept Peyton from winning a bunch. And I think Peyton should have won a bunch. Obviously he's that good. But the talk always was Brady and Belichick. Would Brady be any good anyplace else without Belichick? And I always was one of the guys that said, I don't think he will be. You put him in a different system, and he's not that good. Well, guess what? He proved that it is him and not Belichick by taking Tampa Bay to the Super Bowl in his first year there. And if he wins it, I will give him more respect than he deserves because it wasn't just him and Belichick. It was him. He is that good. Is he the GOAT? No. There's a lot of other guys out there that are better than him. It's a different era. And you and I have talked about this on many occasions. It's a different era. You're talking different time football-wise. More of a passing league when Bradshaw, Young, Montana were all playing. It was a run-first offense.
And with way less protection on the quarterbacks.
Yes.
Like those guys could get the shit kicked out of them, could get their helmet spun around, and they have to be back out there in the next play. Yep. Now, if you look at the quarterback wrong, you're getting 12 flags thrown at you.
Right.
So,
and was it last year or 2 years ago when they changed the roughing the passer rule? You couldn't tackle the quarterback and land on him. Or was roughing the passer call? I think Clay Matthews got flagged for it. I don't know if it was last year, not this past year, but the year before that, before COVID.
Right.
He got flagged twice on two separate plays in the same game because he tackled the quarterback and landed on top of him for roughing the passer. In 1990, when Troy Aikman was playing, Steve Young was playing, you're right, Paul. These guys got the living shit kicked out of them.
Oh, yeah.
And you're right.
Without a second thought. Yeah.
Right. And got up and went back and started playing. Nowadays, these quarterbacks, they get lightly touched or bumped into or whatever. And it's the change of the game. I get that. You're trying to protect the players more. The receivers, obviously, when you go across the middle, you can't hit an unprotected receiver. I'm sorry. Ronnie Lott lived by doing that to guys.
Yes. That's how he got famous. Yes.
Exactly. He got famous for laying guys out going across the middle. I mean, Lester Hayes, these guys, these cornerbacks now that were in the 70s, 80s, hand checking and fighting down the field was common.
If not encouraged.
No, and now if you touch the receiver after 5 yards, you get called for pass interference.
Mm-hmm. It almost sounds like you're nostalgic for the good old days where
I am.
Guys concussions so they could go home and kill their families.
Well, I mean,
that was pro wrestling.
That's
it's concussions though.
It is, yes. And it's what is it? CTE, the brain injury. And I get the fact that yes, you have to protect these players now because that's a common thing. Like you're saying, there are guys, and mainly it's linemen and defensive backs that we're doing stuff like that, and they've started to protect these guys. And I get that you have to. You do the same thing in hockey. Guys are and they've got guys now that say, that guy took a hit. He needs to be checked out. Where what Paul and I are saying, guys go across the middle, Ronnie Lott hits you, you jump right back up. You could be seeing stars. You could be seeing three different guys out there, but you're still playing. Nowadays, they take guys right off the field and put them in a dark room, and they have to pass all these tests, and they can't come back until they do. The old days, you didn't know what a concussion was. You just saw I got my bell rung pretty good, and I saw double for 3 days. Right. Nowadays, you don't step on the field if that happens. So, yes, I am nostalgic for the old days. I would like to see some of the rules changed a little bit. Guys shouldn't be getting hit that are unprotected. Receivers going across the middle, they jump for a ball, and a guy hits him with his shoulder in the face. Ronnie Lott style.
Yes.
That is too much. Mm-hmm. But the quarterback going to throw a ball and a guy brushes against his helmet, the defensive lineman brushes like this across top of his helmet, and he gets called for roughing the passer call. That's a bit much.
It gets excessive. Right. But it's hard to say where to draw the line, though, because, again, you have to protect these guys.
Right. And I understand that. But like you're saying, where there's a line you got to draw. There's some calls that I think just aren't really calls. I think they're just doing it because they're trying too hard to protect some guys. And then, of course, the game has changed again Now it's not a Tom Brady quarterback where you stand in the pocket and throw the ball 75 times a game. You got Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. These guys can scramble. Now they become runners. Cam Newton. Guys like that. The game has changed again, and so you have to adjust. When the guys get outside the pocket, then they're runners. Okay, then you get a free game in hitting these guys.
Yep.
But when they're in between the tackles, you can't brush past them with a light touch, or you get called for pass interference or roughing the passer. It's a strange time, and I'm not sure it's fun to watch the NFL at times because of these things. So, but I like you, Paul. I watched a football game every week.
Yeah.
Not only because that was the only thing to do.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, but again, we got talking about Brady and I got off on a giant tangent there. But, I mean, 10 Super Bowls. If the man wins the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's going to earn a lot of respect from a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm. It kind of shuts the critics up.
It does, because everybody was saying, well, it's Brady and Belichick, Brady and Belichick. Well, where's Belichick? You took Brady out of the situation, and they didn't make the playoffs this year.
Right.
So was it Belichick all along, or was it Brady all along? I assumed it was Belichick, but I guess I was wrong. It was Brady. He is that good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It is. Do I think they're going to win? I don't know. Mahomes is. I don't know. You get to see him twice a year with the Raiders.
Yes.
So
yeah. And they are my second favorite team behind the Raiders. They always have been ever since Marcus Allen went.
Oh, you're like me. I was a Dickerson fan and a Marshall Faulk fan. So when Dickerson went to the Colts, I went to the Colts, and then obviously Marshall Faulk came in behind that, and I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm a Colts fan now. And they've always had good running backs there. I just, I obviously Peyton Manning was, him and Marvin Harrison, SU alum, and Dwight Freeney and all that stuff. So that's how I just stayed with them. I'm a big Colts fan. People don't understand. I don't like any team in upstate New York. I don't like the Bills. Sorry, Gary.
Sorry.
So I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl. I was looking forward to some of the commercials, but a lot of the companies have. Which I agree. A lot of I heard Budweiser is not doing a new commercial this year. They're donating the money that they would have used on the commercial to COVID relief.
Good.
That's because people are drinking enough. They don't need to advertise.
That's also true. It's also true. So, but a lot of companies are doing that. A lot of companies that normally do big TV ads, Pepsi, Pepsi, and Anheuser-Busch. And there's a couple other ones that have decided not to do commercials, and they're going to donate the money that they would have used for the commercials to COVID relief.
Good.
So,
not a bad thing.
Kudos for them for doing that. I think that's a big positive for whatever. But they're going to still run ads. And Anheuser-Busch is still going to run ads, but they're going to run old ads.
Right.
So give me a prediction. Who you got winning, Paul?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Chiefs take this one. I'm not even gonna try and guess a score though, because that shit went out the fucking window a long time ago.
Right.
But I think the Chiefs come home with this one.
Okay. You're not gonna even sure. Is it a close game?
I think it will be close. Yeah. I think it'll end up being a nail biter at the end.
Okay. I got the same thing. I got the Chiefs. I do think that the Chiefs are going to pull it out. I think it will be a close game. I think it'll be less than 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. But again, you can't count on Mahomes in any situation. He's proven that. And you can't count Brady out. So if it's close, it can go either way.
Yeah.
So I am looking forward to watching the Super Bowl. So
since you guys took whatever Kansas City is, I'll take, what is it, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Buccaneause.
Buccaneers.
You're going to go with that? Yeah, kind of like Pirates.
I'll take the Buccaneers, and I'll say more than 7 points.
Right.
I'm going to say 11.
He's going contrarian just to do it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I don't even know what's going on.
Maybe we'll live tweet it now. No, we won't.
I mean,
Who are we kidding?
balls are round, right?
Ish.
Balls should be round. So I don't understand this.
Mr. Paul
confuses me.
Balls are burning right now.
I went to what? Oh, they're burning now. Okay, I got you. All right. So no, I wanted to discuss. Like I said, I was reflecting, And basically, Valentine's Day is going to be coming up. The direct opposite of talking about testosterone-filled football. We're talking about hearts and flowers, lovey-dovey bullshit for Valentine's Day, selling more cards and chocolates. Were you guys aware that there is also a holiday the day before?
Maybe. What's it called?
It is called Galentines Day.
No.
Nope.
Okay, and this is a real thing. This isn't something I'm making up for a thing. There is a section at Target for Galentine's Day cards. Let me tell you a little bit about Galentine's Day. Galentine's Day is celebrated on February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. It's a holiday strictly for women. It's a day for celebrating the love you have for your lady friends, whether they're single or not. Basically, it's a day dedicated to showering your closest friends with love and attention. Okay? I got this from a Cosmo article I saw online. Okay. Next up, it was created by a fictional character, by the way. Another one of those. Do you guys know who Leslie Knope is?
Nope.
From the TV show Parks and Rec?
Nope.
Okay. In 2010, the second season of Parks and Rec included an episode called Galentine's Day, in which Leslie, played by Amy Poehler, gathers a group of her closest gal pals for a brunch of waffles and love. Every February 13th, my lady friends and I leave our husbands and our boyfriends at home, and we just come and kick it, she says, breakfast style. Leslie says in the episode, ladies celebrate ladies, and thus Galentine's Day was unofficially added to everyone's calendar. No, seriously, according to the Atlantic article, it's such a widely recognized fake holiday that some companies now run Galentine's Day promotions. And like I said, you can buy greeting cards at Target. Now, how are these girls supposed to celebrate this? There's no wrong way to celebrate, it says. You can pay tribute to Leslie Knope, the foremother of Galentine's Day, by hosting a waffle brunch, or you could gather your pals for a wine and cheese happy hour, make a reservation at a fancy restaurant, make a group of mani-pedi appointments, or pop champagne and celebrate how great it is to be in a room without the men for a few hours. This is a real thing. So 2 days in a row, basically, women are getting like super big treatment, right?
Well, hold on a second, Paul. You're making a very sexist remark there.
Yeah, yeah.
Valentine's Day also counts for gay couples, so it's not
okay.
women.
Okay, you're right on that one. And supposedly it's for men too. But in the traditional setting, what's the disparity on Valentine's Day? The women get the hearts and flowers and chocolates and shit, right? Usually a gift. I personally have 3 gifts for Kristen this year. That's just because she kept coming up with ideas, and I'm like, oh shit, that's not a bad idea. I want to get her something else. Last week, she finally said, I have no ideas for you. What do you want for Valentine's Day? So like I said, I mean, and now we have a whole celebration of lady friendship the day before. That's really distracting with me throwing my arm around like that. Sorry.
Sounds like you're salty about this, Paul. I mean,
I'm not. I'm actually amused by it. I thought it was amusing.
You do get the Super Bowl and the World Series.
These are also inclusive for women too, though. There are plenty of female fans for that.
Yeah, but there's plenty of gay guys who might celebrate Valentine's Day too. I'm just saying, I think it probably evens out just a little bit. Plus, as men, we tend to be a hell of a lot more selfish, and we take up a lot more resources and stuff. So, I mean, maybe they need that time. I mean, and if your girl is going out every single week and getting like shit-faced drunk with her friends, she probably doesn't need to celebrate Galentine's Day. But I look at my wife. Even if COVID wasn't going on, she'd probably have gone out with her friends once this year, maybe, if she didn't find an excuse to stay home. So
I feel that too. I have the same situation here with that. But you guys do know that there is the converse version of Galentine's Day, right?
Galentine's Day?
No. It's on March 14th every year, according to the website.
Patrick's Day?
No.
Well, I mean, that's getting shirtless and getting drunk on green beer is kind of more a guy thing than a girl thing. Not completely, but but again, in my experience, most of the time when we were partying for St. Patrick's Day, it was with all of Kristen's crazy ass nurse friends. So I miss those days.
But no, put a little harp music in there,
right? Put something. No, March 14th is it's a holiday just for men.
Jockstrap Day?
Jack's birthday, is that what you said?
Jockstrap.
Oh, no, the name's much better, and it explains exactly what's expected of the day. It's called Steak and Blowjob Day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or Steak and Knobber Day, which is how it'll be linked in the show notes. And it's pretty simple, self-explanatory what's expected. Your beloved is to cook you a fantastic steak, and fellatio is expected later on that night, apparently, if you celebrate such things. But I guess, hey, also you can include your gay couples in this as well, right? Because that works too. So now I am saying this all firmly tongue in cheek, but this is a real fucking thing. I'm looking at steakandbjday.com right now.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of it before. And this is a great website, honestly. There's links on where you can buy your Steak and BJ Day cards. How to cook a Texas T-bone or a broiled Santa Fe steak. Oh, look at that. There's also Sonny's Guide to Sucking Cock.
Jesus.
There's videos. There's a Steak and BJ Day anthem.
Oh, see, the problem with that is that, if I'm going to be eating a steak that was cooked in this house, I'm going to be cooking it. There's just no getting around it.
So it also sounds like you'll be also giving yourself the blowjob.
No, I don't think that's a problem. But my wife does get irritated with me because on special days, like Father's Day or something like that, she wants to make something for me.
Right, and make it special for you.
You know what I want to do on Father's Day? Cook ribs. And get things I want to do, because I love to cook. And I mean, you want me to really spend a day and enjoy myself? Let me fire up the smoker and cook all the food. I will have a blast. So it's tough because that's what I do every other weekend.
Right. But she wants to do it special. But, and I'm trying to say this to be offensive, but it's kind of one of those stay in your lane kind of things. You're the guy that does all the really badass cooking. Allow that to happen. There's other ways she could be like special, right? Like the cake, like the birthday cake you had that was so phenomenal. Boom.
Every cake, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, just stay in your lane. Like I know full well that like if we need to make a good meal here, that's not on me. I am not a good cook. I can grill passably.
Hot dogs don't count.
Not as a good meal. No.
I don't know. You see, I consider if you can't cook, you probably can't grill either. And if you learn to cook, you'll find your grill skills go through the roof.
Right. And I'm sure mine would be much better if I learned the nuances of cooking. But I am
single. You learn to cook real fast.
Yeah. I mean, there's always takeout. That would be my answer too. But I can make some mean boneless wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll tell you that.
You still get wings from. You got to freaking go to Camilla's to get them now.
Worth it.
I don't know if it's worth it to drive to Camilla's from North Syracuse. I mean, used
to
be one right up the street from here.
I know, and I missed that one. But you do realize I'm in that plaza once a week already, right?
Well, yeah.
Paul, you make it sound, or I shouldn't say you make it sound because society does it, but like, the typical guy experience is more what you're talking about. My wife does the cooking. Well, no, my wife does the cooking. I go get takeout. You actually hear stuff like that. That's how guys are. It makes me feel like maybe I'm the bitch. Because you know what I did today? You want to know how my day went? I got up. Well, actually, you didn't say you wanted to. Do you want to hear how my day went?
Yes, of course. I thought it was a rhetorical question. I'm sorry.
Okay. Got up, whipped up a sausage, egg, and bagel sandwich for myself and Damara. Played about 3 hours of Valhalla. Decided to smoke a 4-pound slab of bacon. Threw a pot roast into the crock pot. Did 3 loads of laundry and baked a fresh loaf of onion bread.
I see nothing wrong with this.
I feel like I should be wearing a skirt.
No.
I mean, your boy Monty, he calls those kilts, but okay. That is a name that has not been uttered here in quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with that, Hugh. I don't see you cooking like that. I mean, there are days that I like to cook. I mean, I make chili and stuff like that. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with if you wanted to get up and cook all day. If that's what you enjoy, if that's what you like doing, I mean, I enjoy playing video games. So if I'm stressed out or whatever, that's what I do. I sit in front of my PlayStation and I play a video game for a couple hours. That just it's de-stressing. That sounds like that's what you do to
I just wonder, does that mean, where does that put me? Because males now have categories, and have you heard that there's now a new category along with alpha male and beta male? You've heard that. There's now a gamma male. Have you heard of the gamma male?
No.
It's somebody who is able to still get women, because that's what this is all based on.
Oh, of course.
But they are not as forward. They're a little bit aloof. They may put more skills into things like cooking and things that aren't traditionally considered male. But it's a brand new category that I just heard about this week. And I was like, you know what? When I hear the name gamma male, I think about my skin turning green and, tearing down buildings and shit. But
the angry rage monster.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is that acceptable? I mean, is it an insult? Like, if someone called you a beta male, you'd be pissed, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So is that acceptable? Are we allowed to have a middle ground? Does it not have to be an insult?
We should be evolved enough where it shouldn't be an insult, along with the beta male thing shouldn't be an insult. It's just different choices are made, but we have it ingrained in us because we are the last generation where we're allowed to have strong, masculine feelings. And it's ingrained into us. So we have to be overly manly and do all the manly things. And I have to go out back and chop wood later and all that's not society anymore.
You do?
No, I wouldn't know how to swing an axe. I would have to pay somebody to do it. The closest I've came was chucking an axe.
Does that make you a beta male?
I mean, hold on.
Oh, that's good.
I like that. That's
Paul,
great.
There was a point in time where I considered if the zombie apocalypse happened, once I was settled, I would have to travel and go get you. But now I realize you'd be useless, wouldn't you?
I mean, it'd be great if your computer broke down, but that's about it.
Paul, the zombies are attacking. Can you fix my computer?
Right. Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Yeah, but considering that you have incredible luck and incredible charisma, you'd be able to stop them by using Control-Z.
Right.
It shouldn't work, but it would.
Right, just for whatever reason. I think I would survive for a little while in a zombie apocalypse just by probably dumb luck. And like you said, charisma. I would find a group and just fall in with them just because, hey, I like this guy. Let's keep him around.
He pays for everything.
Right. Right.
2 days later, they'd be like, hey, let's ask Paul what he would do.
Who can we get online and pay somebody? Oh God. So does that mean you guys aren't on board with the whole steak and a blowjob day thing? We're not going to rally around and make this happen bigger than it is.
Can we actually do that? I've already heard of this, so
yes.
I don't know that we can really have any effect on it.
We can't.
It'd be like, hey, let's make Black Lives Matter bigger. I mean, we have about an equal chance of making that a bigger thing.
No, I tried that and I got scolded for, changing our profile picture for a fucking day.
Silly you.
Oh God, yeah. Anything left, guys, before we wrap this up for the night?
No.
Did you say yeah, Corbs?
No, I'm good, man.
Oh no, I know you're trying to rush it over. You want to go play some fucking Valhalla.
Hell yeah.
I can't blame you there. All right. I'm gonna drop my nuggets.
You drop your nuggets.
Pro tip: if you put booze in a cough syrup bottle, you can do shots at work. Good night, everybody, and mega blame me, bitches.
Again.
This has been a GeekPod Network production.